And I told Samara, I remember telling Samara, and she was like, "Don't do that." She said, "You don't know
She
that
told me
man."
that too. It wasn't until I healed the relationship with my dad. I'm getting ready to go a little deep, but we're gonna bring it back.
Child,
It wasn't. It wasn't until I started to heal my relationship with my dad that I really was opened up to this idea of coaching. I talk about the morning success routine. I know people feel like it's woo-woo, but it really is the difference between a good and a bad day. You know, if I can choose to look at things in a negative light, or I could choose to see the Christian, I'd be like, girl, I'm over it.
Sometimes I catch him talking to other people about me. Like he said he told I was late. I was late picking him up.
She always like.
No, I was just teeter-tottering. I was like, I'm not going to talk bad about the company. I'm not going to all this stuff. And I wasn't going to, say that I made these deals and stuff like that. What I did make the deals. I was the project manager for those. So that is something I had in my wheelhouse. I should have just been like, I worked with BET. I worked with, Adidas and Red Bull. Like Red Bull was my connection. Like saying those things made a difference to these bigger companies because like, oh, I don't care about your accreditation no more because you work with Red Bull, so you should know. And I'm like, yeah.
What's up, CEOs? It is the Nicholas Marque, your business coach and launch strategist, and I am here with the amazing Christian Taylor from Christian Taylor Marketing.
Hi.
We are hungry because it's content day, and we've been here for hours, and it's time to eat, and I forgot to eat breakfast. So we're going to do the unboxing, and I'm going to go ahead and ask y'all for forgiveness because I'm about to tear this food down. So today we have Thai Kitchen and Bar down here in Midtown of Atlanta. Christian wanted Thai food, or I suggested Thai food, one of those.
Yes. Thai food is like one of my favorite foods to eat. This is mine.
Okay. Oh yeah, because I got the pineapple chicken.
It's
okay,
reading.
this
looks... please label for Christian.
We gonna do this on camera?
I'm just saying. That's what it says. So, I'm Christian. I run Christian Taylor Marketing. It is a digital marketing company. Pretty much, I started in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. Crazy because that's what I wanted to do. And now I have a successful business. I have a team of 5 and I help well over 15 to 20 businesses per month with their marketing and business ideas. And I coach with Nick and other programs, and it's really fun. Like, I have a good time doing what I love to do.
We change lives.
We do. It's really fun.
Lots of lives. So I forgot to introduce the food. This is the first time. Listen, we just hungry. So we're going to go ahead and introduce the food. So,
struggle. Struggle bus. It's real.
I'm hungry. So we got spring rolls with this sweet dipping sauce. What'd you get?
I don't remember what it is. I just got pad thai with chicken. Mild.
And I got the pineapple boat with shrimp and chicken. I wish I would have got the pad thai though. Yours look really good. Hopefully y'all can see.
Yeah, let's see. Because I'm not going to waste my food. Because I'm too hungry for that.
And I got the Thai iced tea.
Yeah, and I just got Sprite. And a little bit of water.
So me and Christian met because my line brother had his birthday party. That was his birthday party, right? Or housewarming?
It was his birthday party and housewarming at the same time.
Housewarming and birthday party. Gotta love Marquez. Knock them all out at once. So we were all introducing ourselves, and I introduced myself as a business coach. Christian introduced herself. I think you said marketing, or you were starting your marketing business.
Yeah, it literally was the day that I opened my business.
Yeah, and that was it. I really didn't. So I was just getting started, and I really didn't have a concept in mind of where I wanted to grow my business to, my business coaching business. I didn't know anything about group coaching and all that other stuff. So when I started to transition from doing one-on-one to group coaching, I was like, man, I called Marquez. I was like, who is that girl that said she did marketing? I would love to have her on the team, to help my clients. And so he introduced me, he gave me your number, and I called you. And I was like, I have this crazy idea. This is what I want to do. I feel like you could come in. I could do the business strategy. You could come in and be the marketing expert.
And you told me about a coaching program too.
Yes.
You was like, I needed. You asked me to do like a course or something like that.
Oh, from Passion to Profit.
Yeah, you were like, I need, I have this program I'm about to do, and then we can do sales if you kind of like do a program, a portion of it. And I was like, oh, okay then. And I told Samara, I remember telling Samara, and she was like, don't do that. She said, you don't know that man. Yeah, she was like, you don't know that man. And I was like, I just started my business. I need revenue. Like, I had a promising, partner, and they said that they would give me some revenue. I had maybe like 2 or 3 clients at the time. I wasn't like desperate to find clients because I, had a little bit of pocket change when I started my business. But
she rich.
No, I had some pocket change. I didn't just up and leave so swiftly. It was just one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make my money, and however I make my money is how I'm making my money right now. As a new entrepreneur, that's what I wanted to do. Period. Need to make some money.
Partnerships is the best way, the quickest way to make some money.
Yeah.
Especially when you're first starting out, because you don't have money for marketing and advertising. Like, you have to leverage OPM or OPA, other people's audiences. Mm-hmm. And working together, you can provide even more value. So what did you think after you got off that call with me?
Like I said.
Was you like, who is this kid?
No, just like, I'm gonna make some money. We'll see how it goes. He's promising money. I'm going to see what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. I kind of believe people until they prove me wrong. So there was no reason to think that you were, a bad person or anything like that. And you knew a mutual of mine, which I trusted the mutual. So like, that's also really important. Like, I think we kind of forget about like our friends and families. Like, they are kind of in our target market. So even though they're not the person, that persona that we're like really trying to reach to, they're the person that's going to tell somebody about your business. So like, you're still catering to them, right? Yeah. So their trust level allows you to get some clientele too when someone says it. So like, you knew Marquez knew you, and he was like, yeah, Nick's a great he said you were a great person. And I was like, okay, well, I trust what Marquez says. So
you said something so important about family and friends, and I talk about in my free masterclass. You could click the link in the description. I'm always gonna pitch. I talk about in my free masterclass about leveraging your circle of network. Yeah. Like, you have ambassadors who may be friends and family who may or may not be your target market, but they'll let you leverage their circle of network to get what you need. Whether that's someone who wants to invest in your business, or someone who can add value and become a part of the team and add value to your clients, or maybe they know people who want to buy your product or service. People have this misconception that they can't do business with family. You can if you do it in the right way. And leverage. Okay, this is really good. I don't know if it's really good or if I'm really hungry.
You're probably just really hungry. That's the pineapple one?
And it smells spicy, but it's not that spicy. And I asked for chicken and shrimp, and they only gave me shrimp.
Get the whole meal back.
Okay. I told Christian that we need to ask each other like 5 questions because I don't know what we're doing. We're just gonna go with this. I feel like you ask a question and then I ask a question, even though I think I already asked one of my questions.
You did.
And I'm looking on the computer because my memory is terrible. So my first question was, what did you think of me? Okay. What did you think of me when we first started working together?
I thought you were really aggressive.
Really?
Not like, I guess I would say like, you're aggressive in like your sales style. So like, you were really like, I'm gonna make this sell. I'm gonna do everything I can to make it work. That's what I mean. Okay. You're not like, I'm sorry, shouldn't have said it in that way. You're not.
I'm a black man. You know what they say about
aggressive. No, you were just really like, whatever works, like whatever we can do to make it work. And I was like, okay, he want to make a sale. Like, you're very just like consistent, because I think even after a couple months of working, it was like, all right, I see this works very well, so I'm gonna continue to push it. And so that was great, because like, I hadn't had any partner that really pushed me to kind of do more or get more or whatever like that. And it kind of was like, the benefit was them and not me, So just in the beginning, it seemed so fun. It seemed so fresh. And it made just being a new entrepreneur so much better, because I was doing it with somebody. Yeah. So it didn't feel like I was doing it alone.
And it pushed me too, because in return, it's like when you bring people onto your stuff, like you want it to be a value add for them as equally as it is for you. So like when we didn't make sales in the month, it's like, oh shoot, like I have partners and stuff that not dependent on me because she has her own business, but the vein of this partnership is like give and take. And so for me, it's like, okay, push, serve at a higher level, not only your customers, but your team, like the people who you work with.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
cool.
Your question.
My question. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I want to start with the other question that I want to ask that has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about right now. So how are you staying positive? We've been working together since 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
We came through a full pandemic together.
Mm-hmm.
Very much ups and downs. We've had clients. We've lost clients.
Ups and downs.
ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
Ebbs and flows. But you always seem to have like a really good spirit every single time I talk to you. So it's like you're always like ready to go. Even on our personal calls, you're still like very high in spirit, even when I could be pretty low.
Mm-hmm. We call and vent to each other all the time.
Yeah, but like how are you staying positive through this? Like what makes you feel that way?
I wasn't always that way. So when I had my event business, it didn't really have to do with a transformation of like other people.
Yeah.
It had to do with you contract me to plan this event. Of course the event is an experience, but it's not necessarily like me trying to shift people's mentality and help them accomplish their goals and dreams. So when we shifted out of the pandemic, I was asking God, like, what am I going to do about my event business? Like, I thought that was my path. Like, that's how I'm going to retire. This is my path. Like, it's this to be an event planner. I was helping friends and family start their businesses. Like, people come to me like, hey, we saw you built your business and you were doing great things with your event company. Can you help us start, what we got going on? So I'm helping them start their business. And at the same time, I'm like, how am I going to pivot? Right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, God is like, hello, like you're operating in your purpose. It wasn't until I healed the relationship with my dad. I'm getting ready to go a little deep, but we're gonna bring it back. It wasn't until I started to heal my relationship with my dad that I really was opened up to this idea of coaching. And it wasn't like a monetization thing, but it was I am healing pieces of me and learning and growing as a person. And that also was the year I turned 30. I'm growing as a person. I'm a totally different person, right? When I did that, I felt lighter because I was very pessimistic and very much a drama king when it came to like the smallest thing. But I also felt like God was telling me, if you're going to impact lives, you have to do the inner work yourself. So I started doing mindset things. I talk about the morning success routine. I know people feel like it's woo-woo, but it really is the difference between a good and a bad day. If I can choose to look at things in a negative light, or I could choose to see the opportunity in it. And that's how I stay positive. It ain't always like that though. Sometimes I call Christian, I'll be like, girl, I'm over it.
Yeah, but you're still in a very nice, like, it's never like, F them, da 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 da. Like, you ain't never like that. Now I will. I'm like, excuse my language, but I drop them.
No, let me
hot pocket.
Okay.
Let
me go talk to him.
Yeah, he's like, let's have a little conversation. I'm like, I'm done. I'm flat out done. And they can be like, just take a deep breath. I'll call you back.
Would you recommend entrepreneurship for your kids?
That's interesting because my son does want to start his own business.
Does he?
Listen, starting a business can be complicated, but it doesn't have to be. There's 3 things every entrepreneur needs to know when they're getting ready to start their business. Number 1, that there's a difference between starting a business and launching a business. You don't want to just start a business. You need to put a strategic plan in place so that you can actually accomplish the results that you're looking for. Number 2, where are you going to get your first customers? And not just any customers, but customers who will pay you a premium. And then number 3, where to get funding for your business. If you're looking to grow the business, you need something to start it with. So if you are a new or aspiring entrepreneur, or you're looking to launch a new product or service, I want to invite you to my free training where I'm teaching you how to launch your business in the next 90 days or less using the resources you have, okay? Because it gets real out here. So if you want to attend that training, make sure you click the link in the description below, and I will see you in the training. Now back to the episode.
He asked me all the time. At first, he wouldn't ask me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was so weird because I was like, you do know I run my own business, right? And he'd be like, oh, I forgot.
Kids don't be knowing.
I think he sees like what I do and, you know, how I'm like active and like I'm always on calls and stuff like that. And sometimes I catch him talking to other people about me. Like he said he told I was late. I was late picking him up.
She always like.
No, I mean from school, not from work. He said that he told his teacher that I probably had a call. Probably had a call because I was a marketing manager. And I was like, ooh, that's very close.
Okay.
Very close, a marketing manager. And he was like, but you manage people's marketing. And I said, yeah, and that actually is true. But I own my business. So it's two different things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, he's very interested. And I think we've been talking about, he wants to start a YouTube channel. He wants to be a YouTuber. And he's interested in doing comic books. So he wants to be a writer and all that stuff. So like he's already in the realm of that entrepreneurship. We talked about it, him not going to college, which is like another thing. And I'm like, wow, these kids are so young and they already are like making the decisions that college isn't the best. And, you know, Nick and I have both gone to college, and I'm not going to say that it was a waste of my time because I had a great experience. But was that great experience worth me $60,000? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, I think it's good for kids. And if I have a baby on the way, so, you know, if my little one, you know, wants to be an entrepreneur, I'm definitely going to, they're probably going to start working for me though. So, you ready? Mm-hmm. Because you almost done with your food.
Listen, she didn't even. She went to Starbucks, was right down the street, and did not even bring me a almond croissant.
Wait, I thought you had eaten, so I'm just like, you went to the barbershop and everything. Like you're up way before me.
Late.
Okay, so looking at your business now, where you are, when you first decided that you wanted to be an entrepreneur, did you think you'll be here doing this? Did you ever foresee yourself being like right here?
In the sense of like business coaching, or in the sense of just where my business is?
Like where your business is right now.
No. Even with my event business, like I was doing good in my business, but I always like had a job on the side and saw the trajectory of how can I continue to have my small business on the side, but pursue this career as well in the same field. So to be in the business, in entrepreneurship full time, never. I won't say never, but it just was not, it wasn't on my radar.
That's crazy.
To be a full-time entrepreneur.
I think I was always an entrepreneur. So regardless if I had a job or not, because I was a professional dancer, so I still had that like part of me knowing that I could make that money and be in that realm. So I always knew that my job, I would not be a corporate baddie. Like I'm not a corporate baddie type of person, and I never wanted to work in the corporate field. So I always wanted to work with small mom and pops and have a family oriented business type. You know, maybe at some point I thought I would open up a family business. No, I didn't think it would be this. Honestly, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have never quit my job.
Me too.
I would have never quit my job.
I was laid off, but
yeah, well, I quit. QUIT, quit, because I couldn't take it no more. But yeah, no, I would have never quit it. I would have consistently did that. I might have done something on the side because I did start my business like on the side, but I was never going to go full time into entrepreneurship. Kudos to the pandemic giving us something positive.
The pandemic pushed a lot of people in areas that they didn't even know.
Sure.
We're so in sync, because guess what my next question is?
Oh, why did I quit?
What made you leave your job and do entrepreneurship full time?
I was tired. And I think the joke that people do all the time is so funny. It was like, you quit your 9 to 5 to work 24/7. Yeah, that wasn't the plan. That's not what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, the company that I worked for 8-9 years did not do a very good job pivoting during the pandemic. It was very hard for them. They fired 95% of the company at the front end, like literally a week into the pandemic where they shut everything down. They fired everybody. And I sat in a room across from my friends that I had been working with for like 8 or 9 years, knowing that they would be fired, and I could not tell them. It was devastating, to say the least. And I feel like that was the most depressing time of my life, because I was fortunate enough to still have a job, but also didn't want to be in the job that I was in because it was so stressful. So while everyone else had like their break, I know like everybody's like, oh, this wasn't a real, I was a forced break. You had a break. Everyone else had a break. I was waking up at 8 a.m. in the morning, getting on my Zoom calls and staying on Zoom all day until 11 p.m. at night, watching my husband come home and watch me still be on work calls all day long, trying to figure out how to help this company pivot. And it was just very unfortunate, quite honestly. I loved them. It was great, but I had to make a decision for myself. I think the biggest reason I did it is because I started having panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and it was one of those things like, my health is more important than this job, and I had great support system. My husband was like, quit. He said quit. Okay. My mom said quit, and my best friend, she was like, you need to quit. Like, and I am a strong believer in spirituality, and that power of 3 is important. And I heard it, and I was like, loud and clear, God, you told me from 3 different sources, 3 different trusted sources, that this is what I needed to do, and that you're gonna protect me in my business. So here's the thing, but even before I decided I was gonna quit, God had planned it in my life to start my business. So I didn't even think I was quitting. I was just like, I need extra money. I lost some income. You know, my friend wanted to start a business, and she called me up one night and was like, hey, do you know how to do an LLC? And I was like, yeah, like, it's the easiest thing in the world. And she was like, okay, can you help me start an LLC? And I was like, good, because I need to start an LLC, right? So I started my business with my friend. Every week we would call each other and be like, okay, I got my LLC now. Okay, I've got my EIN number. Okay, like, I chose my name. Okay, I'm looking at my logo. Like, I was like, okay, I'm about to start working on my website. It was just a thing that was like really coming into it. And then I woke up one day, like I said, from the quitting vibe, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Got some money. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So literally, that's why I did it. Again, did I think it was gonna last this long? No. I'm dead serious. Like, I really didn't think it was gonna last long. I thought eventually I would get another job, you know, run this out for a minute, see how well it worked, and then apply for other jobs. Even though I didn't apply for any other jobs, the whole time I didn't apply for any other jobs. I just was like, okay, let me run out this money, get these clients, and baby, the clients was like,
that's how it happened.
Oh my God, they were rolling in. I remember the first month. I started in September 2020, and I did really okay. I did okay. I'm not gonna say I did really good money. I just did okay. I was surprised at myself. But in January, things changed so quickly. I was like, I made double the amount that I made from September of opening to December in 1 month, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, I said life is crazy.
That's how it happened. Like, when you especially when you first start and you just head down working on the business, and you don't even realize that, like, you celebrate the small wins, but you don't realize your business is growing until it's grown. And you have a second to step back and be like, oh wow, look what I did, look what I made.
Look what I made. And I sat there and said, I'm the adult. You don't really think about, I mean, you think about being an adult because you have to pay bills, right? But I didn't think that I was a true adult until I started my business, because then I had people looking for me to pay them. And I was like, pay you on a schedule? You mean I gotta figure out payroll?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's the hardest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
When you're growing and scaling a business, now other people are relying on you. Like, listen, it gets real because
I ain't got nobody to turn to, but like, look at this customer. Look, you go talk to this customer real quick because I ain't talking to them more. No, I'm the one.
they be looking for their paycheck. You be
Yeah.
like, oh, it's coming.
Where the money at? Okay, what's your question?
Oh.
Not you. This ate his food so fast. I'm not gonna finish his food. Honestly, I can't finish all of this, so I'm just
Do
gonna.
you want this last egg roll?
No, you definitely can eat it.
Are you sure?
It's a spring roll.
Yeah. What's the difference?
It's actually a big difference. This spring roll, well, egg rolls can be veggie, but it's also in the way of the paper. The
wonton wrap.
yeah. So egg roll has more like a flour base and all that stuff. That's
You know, I actually have a degree in culinary arts.
No.
Like, I was supposed to be this big time chef when I was lost in I went on internship,
Yeah.
and when I was in the kitchen, I was like, I ain't trying to do this.
Oh, you weren't cut out for it.
The chef got the cussing, I got the cussing.
Oh no, not Gordon Ramsay.
Right.
Was it really like Gordon Ramsay?
No, but they try to be.
I didn't know he had a culinary degree. I did know you cooked a little bit. Remember I called you about what was we talking about? Gumbo.
Oh yeah. And I gave you and Rob like this long ass list.
Oh my God! And he was in the kitchen, really, really trying it. He was really trying to make.
How did them out?
His. I'm not gonna lie. I love my husband. He is a recipe guy. So he will follow the recipe to the T. He's not going to deviate from any recipe ever. I am not that person.
Me either.
I was taught to cook with whatever is in my face. So I can literally look at ingredients and just put something together. Yeah. He has to have exact ingredients. If it's something missing, he can't do it. So it's unfortunate, but his food is really good. So I just felt like there were certain things that he could have added more to it, to spice it up a little bit. And I ended up making it a couple of weeks later. So because I'm just gonna do it.
That's trifling.
Is it?
Not really. I mean,
he didn't use gumbo filet.
Yeah, why didn't he?
Because the recipe that he used, he looked at yours and then he looked up a recipe. It didn't have gumbo filet in it. And
Did mine have gumbo filet? It should have had gumbo filet.
Possibly, but he just
ain't used mine.
And I was like,
should have used mine.
You need this gumbo filet because what's gumbo without it?
So I cook. I'm a good cook.
That's what he said.
And I love to cook for people, but I don't like to cook. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Like, only time I cook is usually with other people. Other than now that I got this little service, I know we're gonna go into it. But I do like to cook. I just, if I don't have to, I won't. But when I'm in it, when I do it, I actually get into it. I actually get into it.
You have to cook with other people,
or at least somebody like other people around, or for other people.
I love cooking. I don't know what it is. I love cooking. I would complain. My little heart's desire out, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna make something simple," and my ass be in the kitchen for 3 hours. I don't know why I say that. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna make something really simple. And I'll be in there 3 hours because I'm spicing it up.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love cooking. I think it actually really, well, I loved cooking beforehand, but it started in the pandemic. For real. Because I was making bread. And I don't know if y'all ever made bread before, but that shit take a long time.
My pandemic meal was crab legs.
I couldn't have no crab legs. You know why? Because I went on food stamps. Not saying you was on food stamps, but all my friends.
I did when I got on unemployment. They gave me food stamps too.
I couldn't get unemployment. That's how I'm telling y'all. I was so depressed. I could not get
unemployment. You quit right before the pandemic?
No, I quit okay, this is literally a timeline. So March, literally that's what happened. I can see it like yesterday. I'm about to cry. I'm not. So I just remember, I know the exact dates because March 11th is my husband's birthday. And we were at Topgolf. And I'm looking at the news, and they were talking about it being in China and all the places. And I was like, that's crazy. They shutting down. Ain't got nothing to do with me. We're in the United States. I'm at Topgolf with 20 people in one section. And then all of a sudden, the conversation started to get a little deeper. That Thursday, that Friday, by that Sunday, we were shut down. We had the conversation of firing people and how they could get on unemployment. The way that my job worked was, this is not how it's supposed to work. I'm just trying to tell y'all what happened. Okay. And clearly I'm not going to get the previous employers in trouble because I don't work for them anymore. But I actually was a 1099 employee and a W-2 employee for the same company.
How'd that work?
Because
they contracted your company?
No, so I was their marketer, right? So I did digital marketing for them, but I also was a teacher. So it was a studio.
Okay.
So I taught at the studio as well. So they separated my money from me teaching at the studio and me actually being an employee. When the pandemic happened, there were no classes. So then I lost half of my income. And so I was like, what the hell, what am I supposed to do if I lost half of my income? And they was like, oh, you can file for unemployment, PUA. They wanted me to file for PUA. I filed for PUA. They denied me. I literally kept getting denied time and over again. You know why? Because I was a full-time employee. And they were like, you can't get PUA because you're a full-time employee. And I was like, no, I lost my job. That was my income. And they were like, no, your job says that you're a full-time employee. And I was like, y'all are the ones who told me to file for PUA. You should go and tell them that it's okay. And they couldn't because it was wrong. Because they shouldn't have made me a 1099 and a W-2 employee. They should have clumped my money together and paid me that way.
I would be right here. I would be doing this.
See, you can't answer the question like that.
I love being a business coach, but if I was to do anything different, I would have pulled the trigger on stepping into this sooner. Because right when I was first doing it, even when I was just helping family and friends, I was like, who's going to pay me to, and I had the misconception that you need these certifications and you need, I should have went to school.
Well, you don't need the certifications. I'm just saying
it helps.
It helps, but like, that's why I said I still got business without the certifications, without the degree. Like, I still got business doing that way, but I feel like the type of business I wanted, like, I skipped over those new people. I was like, let me get to the money. Let me get to these people that got degrees, and degrees matter to them. And so that was hard because I'm in an industry where degrees matter. Yeah. And degrees do that. You can't be a lawyer without having a JD.
Well, you could be a marketer without having a marketing degree.
But I'm getting into those industries. Like, I'm marketing.
I'm marketing for those industries.
Yeah, like, you can't be a lawyer without a JD. You can't be a real estate agent without having a realtor's license. Like, there's other things. Like, those people are the type of people that I work with. So, like, you can't do it without having certifications. So they care about that stuff. So when they ask me, where your certifications at? I'm like,
in the results.
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding. Call these people.
And the companies I worked with.
Correct. The results I gotten for you.
Oh, and I was so afraid of saying what I did for my previous company because I was under the impression that I couldn't tell. So I held back on so much information because I was just teeter-totter. And I was like, I'm not going to talk bad about the company. I'm not going to all this stuff. And I wasn't going to, say that I made these deals and stuff like that. But I did make the deals. I was the project manager for those. So that is something I had in my wheelhouse. I should have just been like, I worked with BET. I worked with, Adidas and Red Bull. Like, Red Bull was my connection. Like, saying those things made a difference to these bigger companies because like, oh, I don't care about your accreditation no more because you work with Red Bull, so you should know. And I'm like, yeah,
of course, if you're a lawyer, doctor, like, you need degrees and stuff, but for these other industries where you are monetizing your expertise, your strategy, like your thinking, you just need to prove this in the pudding. At least you got started, because there's a lot of people who, their pink sauce is still in their kitchen cabinet.
I'm still surprised by the people that still don't learn from her mistakes, because there's people out there.
Well, and that's why, again, not pitching, but that's why you work with a coach who can help you break this stuff down and help you realize what the lessons are and the losses. I don't call them losses, I call them lessons learned.
Okay, let me wrap my question up. The only reason I'm gonna ask this question is because we talked about it yesterday, and Nick he acted like he didn't want to talk about it until we got on here. So let's talk about this meal prep, because you literally told me yesterday that you got a new meal prep plan.
Let me preface it. So I've signed up for this meal service. It's called ENTREe. It's a good service. I'm gonna put the link in the description. So if you want to try it, you can get a discount and all that other stuff. It's an affiliate link. So listen.
He's trying to make money off of this. Okay, anyway, moving on.
I'm not, but I am. But it's just like Blue Apron or any of these other companies that send you a box of groceries. and then they send you recipes to cook. So for me, I work from sun up to sundown. And like I mentioned earlier, I don't mind cooking, but when it comes to myself, I'm like, I could be doing other things, right? So I'm all about how can we maximize time and collapse time. And it took me so long.
He's all about being lazy, y'all.
No, I'm not about being lazy. I'm all about working smarter, not harder. But it takes me so long to go grocery shopping. And even when I'm doing like Instacart, but even when I'm doing Instacart, it takes me so long because I'm like, well, what do I want to cook? Well, what am I gonna pair this with? Well, how am I gonna do this? And da da da. And then I got to a point where I'm just like, I don't want to have to. I'm either gonna pay somebody to go shopping for me or I wanted to pay a chef to do meal prepping during the week and just deliver the food.
You not hear him? He says, "I want to pay a chef."
I do. If you are a black chef, no, there's an abundance of money everywhere, and I want to take a piece of my abundance. And if you're a black chef in Atlanta, I would love to patronize you to just cook my meals. So I started with this because a friend of mine, actually another entrepreneur of mine, was like, you should do meal prepping. Because I'm all about like, okay, I could be putting time elsewhere.
Meal prepping is good, yeah.
They told me about ENTREe. It came in, it was so great, all the stuff. Now I had to add, again,
some seasoning.
I gotta add some seasoning. It was like salt and pepper. I'm like, hey, onion powder, garlic powder, need a little seasoned salt. So I want to do a meal service where they actually make the food and deliver it to you. Like I don't have to do anything but warm it up.
Nick is still in that, like, this is me. I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me.
Let's grind.
Kind of let me grind.
It out.
I'm gonna make this money. And I'm like, is it 6 o'clock yet? Baby, I don't know what
6 o'clock.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Who you want to talk to after 6
o'clock?
I have my time where it's like it's personal time. I need me time when I'm dealing with everybody else, my clients. Then I get to deal with my husband, who was great, but headache. And I deal with my son, who is also great, but double headache. So, I need me time. So I was scheduled, I feel like cooking to me is my me time. And it makes me happy because I like food and I like making other people happy by food and eating, and we all sit down and eat together as a family. So that makes sense. But
yeah,
you get your private chef, and I want to see how this works.
Yeah, I need the food already made. Here's the thing, right? If you work a 9 to 5, if you got it, wherever you are with your money, if you have it, I would try it, especially if you're one of those people who are like, I go to work all day and I don't have time to work on my business. Imagine if you didn't have to cook your food. Obviously, you don't want to have to go turn to fast food and stuff all the time. I do love me some Chick-fil-A.
You shouldn't.
You could get time back, even to the point where, and again, like it's where your mindset is, right? Even to the point where if you got it, hire a housekeeper to keep the house up.
I'm here with that. I do think that having a house cleaner is really important because if you think about the amount of time you spend cleaning your house and how much you can be doing while someone else is cleaning your house, I think it's important. Also, it's just peace of mind.
Yes.
To have a clean space. I'm all for doing a housekeeper. I think that you're not cleaning your baseboards every time you're sitting there cleaning. You're not cleaning your fan off, dusting your fans. You're not washing your curtains. Those are things that you kind of forget about because you're kind of surface cleaning. You're trying to get it up. So I just think that having someone come in and do a deep clean every now and then, one, it keeps your space clean. It helps to purify your air because you want to have clean air in your house as much as possible. All the dust that's piled up that you're not getting, it's not as healthy for you.
This is not a conversation to sound entitled, but seriously, if you feel like you don't have time to do things, I always tell my clients, delegate in 3 areas: things you're not qualified to do, things you don't have time to do, and things you don't want to do. It applies in life too, because you can get that time back. This was a good convo.
Was it?
Did you enjoy it?
I did. I could keep talking for days, y'all, so we're gonna wrap it.
Me too.
Marketing by Christian on every platform. So you got it. Find me there, guys. And it's marketingbychristian.com. If you're looking for any digital marketing services, looking for any website design, hit me up. I can help you. Depends on your budget. No, I can help you. And I would love to meet and talk to anybody that's interested. Even if it's about this other entrepreneur stuff. Y'all heard a bunch of stuff from me. So if you are an entrepreneur, someone called me yesterday and they were just like, I just need a person, an accountability partner. And I was like, good. Okay, that's good. ask me for something else besides marketing, because I will help you with it. I will do that. I will be your accountability partner. I can call you, I can text you and ask you what you're doing. So it doesn't really just have to be about marketing.
And you know, y'all can find me at Nicholas Marque. Follow me on social media and connect with me. And if you enjoyed this, if you enjoy content about entrepreneurship, life, launching, growing, or scaling a business, then click like and subscribe, where we will drop episodes every week. We're gonna get this script together.
Yeah, he gonna get it together, y'all. This is the prequel. Let's get it.
The pilot.
It's the pilot.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Did you like that episode? Not only do I want you to click like and subscribe, but I want you to binge watch the next episode right here.